Okay, some of y'all that's into antique signage and memorabilia may get a kick out of this. Some of you may have noticed some of my ye old Speed and Sport decals in some of my windows. Now that you saw the sign at the beginning of the video, let's go over here and you can see this. This is what I had done. This is this car. This was a friend of mine's car. A friend of mine who was a lot older than me. He was 68 when he died. I was 22, I believe, when he died. But anyway, he had a 64 Olds. His dad actually bought the car new. Well, in the 80s, Ron Shirkus was his name. Some of you are probably going to see this video eventually that knew Ron. He was from Manchester, Connecticut. He owned a speed shop. That speed shop was called Ye Old Speed and Sport Emporium. This is the real, authentic sign that stood above his store, or hung above his store, I should say, back in the 80s. He had this speed shop between, I want to say, the early 80s to the late 80s. He was in cahoots with someone else. He then sold his share. I think the store stayed there for a little while longer and closed down. I've been contacted by several people who says they remember the speed shop and they remember Ron. This was a two-sided sign. You noticed the 57 Chevy with its kind of 80s, 70s, street machine appearance, and the four-wheel drive truck, square body step-side Chevy depicted there. For a long time, I wanted this sign, but Ron's widow, we kept a good relationship, and I always said, if you go to get rid of the sign, let me know. I said, I don't, even if you sell it to me, I want it. You don't have to give it to me. I wouldn't expect you to give it to me. She helped me out a lot in the past when I had a bout with cancer and everything. Long story there, but anyway, this probably means more to me than it does anybody, but someone who likes old signs, this would have some significant value. Again, this is the legitimate sign. This is all hand painted. Ye Old Speed and Sport wrote in the old English font. But Ron moved to South Carolina in the early 90s. And he got a job with Griffin Radiator. Some of you may have talked with him there. His name was Ron Shirkus. And he was with Griffin for, I want to say, the better part of 20 years. Till he retired in 08, maybe. And I got to know Ron. It's funny because Ron actually lived on the same street that I did. And he lived on the same street that I did for pretty much my whole life. And I didn't even know Ron until around 2006. I knew of him coming to the local Springwater Festival. And they give away a radiator up there. Well, I was also at the vocational school at the time, and they donated a radiator to the Anderson Career and Technology Center. In 2008, I had my white 70 Monty there, and in the years past, they had just drawn a name out of a hat. Well, Ron kind of knew me, but knew of me. He came over and talked with me, and that year, Ron actually picked the car who won it. Well, at that point in time, I didn't know Ron. We wasn't buddy-buddy, so he came over and talked with me, and they ultimately decided to give me the radiator. So Still to this day, this car here has the Griffin radiator I won in it in 2008. Out of all the car shows I did and the things I won, trophies, plaques, that'll always be the shining star of winning that. And then as me and Ron got to become great friends, it just kind of added to the notoriety of it. Again, that doesn't really mean anything to anyone else, but it does me. This sign is basically the holy grail of Ron's Speed Shop. And I have a lot of other things of his. I have his personal coats and jackets and stuff that he wore at the car shows. It's got his name on it. I think a lot of that stuff too, but just as far as the connection to him. But as far as the store itself, you don't get no better than this. Original sign, again from Manchester, Connecticut, in the 1980s era. Some of you out there, I'm sure, that see this video are going to remember this and probably going to remember this sign. If any of y'all out there have a picture of the store and have this sign in it, please contact me. I would love to have a blowed up picture of the original Speed and Sport with this picture here. His wife may have some pictures, but I've looked through it and I don't remember seeing any pictures of the old sign hanging up in the old albums. I got to go back in the fall and take down some of the car show stuff that he had. He also did an annual car show in the, it's called the Olde Speed and Sport Charity Car Show. And we actually done one here kind of in memory of him back in 2013. But yeah, so hope y'all enjoyed this video. Again, Ye Olde Speed and Sport sign. It's what inspired me to bring this back. And the day I took this picture, he was actually still living, but he was in bad shape. So just kind of do that to kind of keep his memory alive. And I was always obsessed. Once he told me he owned a speed shop, I was just intrigued by, oh really, you owned a speed shop? Nobody has a speed shop anymore. You call up Summit or Jegs or wherever, you know, but hardly any place has an actual speed shop. This was a speed shop, and probably one of the last of its kind. I know it was in that area, and there's not many places around here either. So hope you enjoyed the video. Again, please, if you have any memory or remember Ron, the store, Ye Olde Speed and Sport Emporium, the car show that he had in Connecticut at once a year, contact me. I'd love to see your pictures, hear your story. If you've got any photos, of the old store hanging up, I'd love to have them. That's all for now. Like, share, comment. Let's get this out there and see if we can't dig up some more history on the old speed shop. Thanks for watching.